Greg Popovich. Boo, trade him, fire him, whatever old heads say. Boo, this loser mentality. Boo.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so Greg Popovich, Coach Pop, he's an absolute loser, okay? He loves losing, guys. He just, oh, gosh, it just makes his day to lose. I saw people actually being upset about this. But yeah, sure. Greg Popovich, when he has his alphabet soup, he makes sure to just keep in the L's and take out the other letters because he just loves it so much, I guess. Look, this is just classic Pop, and I'm really happy that he's finding joy in coaching, because if he didn't love it, if he didn't love this ish, all right, he wouldn't be doing it, right? So Popovich basically did a press conference in which he talked about the losing record and basically said, hey, that sucks, but also I find joy in watching the development of things and seeing how much these guys have grown. So it says here, watching them develop is what the real joy is in a group like this, Popovich said in a recent press conference. And then moving on, we can see here Popovich says it's about teaching them individually what it takes to be in the NBA, develop their skills, and then teach them how it fits with a team and how to play with each other. And I think that this continues. Does it continue? It only continues if you go and you actually watch the interview. What is this? With players like Charles Bassey earning a new contract and a 19-year-old rookies, Jeremy Sohan, Malachi Branham, proven to be two of the best players in their draft class, the Spurs' future looks to be in good hands under Popovich. Tutelage. Actually, this is actually really funny, because this is one thing that I've noticed, okay? One thing that I've noticed with Spurs fans in particular is I know that they're not up to par where we want them to be, right? Like they're a very young team. They're not playing that well at times. I get it. I understand it. It makes complete sense. I see the frustration, right? Like just several nights ago, Malachi Branham literally had a turnover that was horrendous at the end of the game. Like I get it, okay? But at the same time, that is funny to think about, because so many Spurs fans talk about how bad our drafting has been and how bad our players are. But if you actually go back and pay attention to who was in those drafts, there's a lot of players not doing that much better. That's why they can only point to one player in a draft here or there. It's like, well, they're doing better, and several teams missed out on them. And they don't never contextualize what the Spurs were looking for, what they need, what other teams might have needed at that time. And it's just very frustrating, because most players in these drafts don't do that well. But for some reason with the Spurs, if they're a first round pick, we made a pretty decent pick. These are guys that are pretty successful in the NBA. You can name a couple, weird ones, right? Like Joshua Primo. I mean, he's in the NBA technically, but we know that he ruined his career there. But I thought he was going to be really good. Now he's playing from behind. But Joshua Primo and I guess you can say Luka Samanic, right? That was the last RC guy. But it's very few. You have to really look for the guys that weren't successful with the Spurs. The Spurs typically do a pretty good job in the draft. All things considered, you got to look at other teams. And I think Spurs fans just has this habit of not necessarily paying attention to what's going on with other teams, because there's plenty of guys that came in the draft and they are gone, okay? And they are not getting as much productivity out of those players for other teams, or they're just gone completely. So that's something to keep in mind. The Spurs, not only do they have a really good developmental coaching staff, but also they have a knack for finding good players in the draft, and guys with very high work ethic and very skilled. So just something to keep in mind. But I do like this, because I know that some people have said that Greg Popovich is all about losing, he's tanking, he doesn't care anymore. But that's not true, man. I think what it really comes down to is, if we want to win, you have to find joy in the development. You have to find joy in getting there. You have to find joy in things actually outside of winning. Now, when it's all said and done and the game is online, you see Popovich write something up and it was like, whoa, that's a really good play. Like that alley-oop he had to Julian Champagnie. Oh, just beautiful. I know that was several days ago. But it was beautiful. But he wants to win. He's a killer. He's not. This coach has championships. Okay, like there's no higher accomplishment you can have than what Popovich does. He's done everything as far as NBA basketball mind coaches goes. No one could do more than what Popovich has done. He has the wins. He has the championships. He led Team USA. Like you can't. This is the best of the best. Okay, and coaches like this, they oftentimes have to find joy in other things, and you got to see the guys as people first. And as things go along, the winning will come. You just have to trust the process. It was very, I hate to use this because I know it's a fictional character, okay, but he is based on real coaches, real successful coaches. But go watch like Ted Lasso, right? It's a phenomenal show. Go watch Ted Lasso and look at his approach to coaching. He never puts winning like first and foremost. It's not like number one rule, we got to win. He treats people like people. He makes sure he understands them culturally. He makes sure that they're taken care of, and it opens them up to listen to him and learn, and then the team just grows and you get better. I know it's a fictional show, but that coach is definitely based on other coaches, other successful coaches in all sports. So just go watch that show. It's a good show. Go watch that show. But yeah, so I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Good stuff here. And as always, if you guys want to support the channel, there's many different ways you can do so. But one way is BetUS. So big shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video and this channel for the entire season. So if you guys are interested, just use the link in my description. You'll receive 125% bonus. What does that mean? You put in $100, you get $125 to play with. Or if you put in $500, that's $1,250. However you want to spend it. But one thing in particular here is overall picks and who has the best chances of being selected first overall as it stands today is Ricochet, and then there's Sar. I know quite a few Spurs fans want Ricochet. I'm not crazy on him. I actually like Ron Holland more than Ricochet, but hey, that's just me. I like Cody Williams a lot too. But if you guys are interested, and yes, say you wanted to say Rob Dillingham, I wouldn't make this bet, but Rob Dillingham could be first overall draft pick. Well, you just go here, you go to risk, and $10, that's $300 right there. So if that were to happen, I don't know. I don't think that'll happen, but if that were to happen, it's there. Also, one other thing just to bring up, I'll be giving away $125 to the first 5 people to message me on Twitter. Just message me on Twitter with your BetUS account number, and just say, hey, I used your link. Here's my BetUS number. And I'll make sure that $25 is being sent out to you, okay? So we're going to split it amongst the first 5. So just hit me up and let me know, and we'll send that out to you. So anyways, big shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video.
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook and casino. Live betting and racebook. We're celebrating 30 years with a historic offer. A 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Plus 10% gambler's insurance. Get started today. BetUS, where the game begins.
But yeah, man, I'll be completely honest. This does make me happy seeing things like this in which Popovich, even at his age and how old he is, because he is an old man, he still finds joy in this. He's not just going through the motions, right? And also, I don't think it's one of those things where Popovich feels a certain amount like of ego, right? Like I know a lot of times, especially guys that get, much older, men that get much older, and they're in that elderly range, sometimes they can hold on to jobs just out of pure ego, right? I don't really think that's the case with Pop. Every single time we see him talk in interviews when it comes to these young guys and Wemby, it almost feels like he feels as if he has an obligation to kind of help them, right? Especially with Wemby, he's like, look, I mean, he knows how old he is, but he's like, I have all this knowledge. Who am I not to at least, help influence the next generation of players? So I truly do think it's coming from a good place. Obviously money. Obviously, like Pop isn't shy about that. They make a lot of money. But at the same time, I think that he truly does want to help these guys. It's not just a matter of I'm just holding on to this for dear life. I can't do it anymore. I'm not that great of a coach anymore, but I'm just holding on to it. No, he's still doing his thing, and I'll be the first if Popovich fell off and I noticed it and guys were not responding to him, and people are just absolutely like pointing fingers and it's just chaos. I would be the first. I promise you, I would be the first person to say, get Popovich out of here. We need a new coach. But I just don't feel that way. I don't think there's any reason to get rid of Greg Papa as it stands right now. So he is doing a phenomenal job, and we'll get better. Let's just see what we look like when we actually got a little bit more talent and some more experience under our belt. But anyways, I will get with you guys later. Until next time, man. Bye.